everyone, it's Jack and Ross from Cultaholic. Ross, how was your time off?
Absolutely fantastic, Jack. It's a shame I've had to come back to work. But yesterday, for WrestleMania Backlash, Fails appeared on the channel, which is WTF moments, but in a different coat, because we're trying to fool the YouTube algorithm. For some reason, it doesn't like WTF moments, so we've had to try and change the name to see if things change. Whether it will remains to be seen, Jack, but it's the same video with a different name. Thank you for your time.
That's all right. I'm sure that everybody understands, and hopefully nobody gives any sort of knee-jerk reactions in the comments section. Ross, are you ready for some news?
God, so excited.
Me too. Let's crack on with the headlines. First of all, the WWE Champion was defeated on last night's Raw. What? We also have some last-minute changes to talk about that have since been revealed from WrestleMania Backlash. And finally, an AEW star has undergone surgery. More on that a little bit later on. So yes, first of all, Ross, we are going back to last night's Raw to talk about Bobby Lashley, the reigning and defending WWE Champion, who lost. He lost last night in pretty shocking fashion, I reckon, because he's been portrayed as quite a dominant champion, really. Would you agree?
Yes, up until he won the title, yeah, he was sort of turning into a cowardly scoundrel, but then he actually won the title in dominating fashion, and ever since then it's been fantastic stuff. So I'm shocked to hear that Kofi Kingston defeated Bobby Lashley on last night's Raw.
Yeah, it was a very strange one. One of many strange things that happened on last night's Raw, which we will talk about in just a moment's time. But I thought this deserved a story of its own because, yeah, I wasn't expecting this at all, especially after the manner that Bobby retained the title at WrestleMania Backlash. Yes, he threw Drew out the ring and was a little bit opportunistic, but he still looked really strong because Drew had thrown him into an electric avenue, and he'd no-sold that, so it was all looking fine. Yes, absolutely, and then we'll take it higher. But yeah, it wasn't a clean victory for Kofi. Drew McIntyre got involved behind the referee's back, stole MVP's cane.
That's not his name, by the way, Jack, not anymore. He's got a new gimmick. Big D, innit?
Big D. Big D, Drew McIntyre. Big D, as he tweeted, saying, Big D's always got your back, boys, in response to the New Day. And yeah, he jabbed Bobby Lashley with MVP's cane. Kofi rolled him up. And yeah, what does this mean for Bobby going forwards, do you think?
He's a heel. That is it, I reckon. And Christina, heels eat losses, don't they, in WWE? It doesn't matter whether you're getting booked strongly or not. It's just you have to lose, don't you, sometimes? And I guess this is just an instance of Bobby Lashley eating a pinfall loss. Yeah, I agree. I think that if I had to put money on it, I don't think Kofi will be getting the big title shot at Hell in a Cell. I think that'll probably be Drew. Would you agree with that as well? Because he got... Would I agree with that as well?
Would you agree with that as well?
Yes. Just because he got involved, yeah, I think that's what they're doing. They're continuing Bobby versus Drew at the top of the card. Why not throw Kofi in there as well as a wild card? It'll be a fantastic match all the same, wouldn't it? It just depends how much of a blood feud it turns into between Bobby and Drew from here on out, because as we all know, when we grew up, Jack, Hell in a Cell was like the worst stipulation you could do in the wrestling. When the cage came out, that meant things could not get more severe. Now we have to wait until a particular time of the year, but still, that fire burns inside of me that this feud will be the most severe it could possibly be because of Hell in a Cell.
I really hope so, because I am also sick of Hell in a Cell being, well, it's that time of year. Although this year they've obviously changed the time of year that it is. But it wasn't the only weird thing that lost for Bobby Lashley that happened on last night's Raw. PW Insider said that once again there has been a ton of rewriting for Raw. When they wrote this last... I know, I can't believe it either. When they wrote this last night, they said there wasn't a completed show as of 5:30 p.m, Eastern time, American time. And yeah, it was another weird show. Lots of weird stuff happened. Kofi beat Lashley, as we've already mentioned, but Kofi pulled double duty. He not only beat Bobby Lashley, he also beat Randy Orton earlier on in the night in singles action. Again, it wasn't clean. Orton got distracted by Xavier Woods' trombone. But that's two massive wins for Kofi in the same show. And it came so out of the blue that I almost think, was that one of the last-minute changes, do you think?
It must be. What did Kofi Kingston do at 5:30 p.m. for Raw to be rewritten in such a devastating fashion in his favour? That's what we ask ourselves. He just pinned down Vince McMahon and choked him out with something. He's done a nails. He's gone backstage and gone to business for himself. But yeah, that is two massive wins for Kofi Kingston, who should now be, by default, WWE Champion.
Well, yes,
That's how it should
absolutely.
work, after 2 big wins like that.
It also wasn't the only weird thing, because it wasn't the only big upset, because also, I think this counts as a big upset. Asuka pinned Charlotte with a small package after a bit of an altercation with Rhea Ripley, yes. But I was fully expecting Charlotte to win that match hands down, especially because it was a number 1 contenders match for Charlotte to get back into the title picture. I mean, I have little doubt that she'll find her way back into the title picture, probably. But yeah, it's a big win for Asuka. I don't know if I'm too hopeful about her going forwards, though.
Hello, Sonia, pal. Can I have a title match? Oh, I can. Oh, champion. I'll see you there. Yeah, that's what it's going to be, innit? Probably. I don't know what was that continued last night? I know I haven't seen the entire show. The Sonya and Charlotte, yeah. Charlotte
went and found Sonya and basically did what you've suggested there. But then Sonya sort of said, well, you'll have to beat Asuka first. And Charlotte went, that's fine. I'll do that. And then she didn't. So we'll have to see where it goes.
She's showing signs of like a new shade to her character, Charlotte, where she's getting a bit more like sort of cracked, a bit more demented, a bit more weird. But then it's not going all the way, so maybe they're just knocking her down to bring her back up as a big old spooky weirdo, because we all have to be spooky weirdos in the wrestling today. But again, it's weird because Asuka's been off the boil for quite some time, but it's still Asuka, isn't it?
Yeah, it is still Asuka. She's still one of those wrestlers who can pull out a win and it's legitimate. You think, oh yeah, that's believable. Asuka can always win at any point. The other weird things that I think might have suggested at rewrites were the episode was heavily centered around the idea of Bobby Lashley's open challenge. He mentioned it at the top of the show, and then a lot of wrestlers teased possibly accepting the open challenge. So Damian Priest won his match, Sheamus won his match, and after both matches, they both went, hey, maybe I'll accept Bobby Lashley's open challenge. Neither of them did. At one point backstage, Mason T-Bar flipped a coin, and as if to suggest whoever wins this coin flip was going to, accept Bobby Lashley's open challenge. Neither of them, that was all pointless as well. I don't really understand what a lot of that was about. And of course, we got the fallout from Zombie Gate, where John Morrison turned up human and very much alive, dedicating his match to The Miz, who's gone missing. And Morrison thinks he'll never be the same again. Oh.
Now, when I heard that this morning, Jack, I was initially heartbroken because that world-famous documentary called Shaun of the Dead, it looked like that got proven to be completely false, because as we all know, when you get bitten by a zombie, anywhere on the body, you therefore turn into a zombie. But the fact that Johnny Drip Drip, disappeared out of sight before he got bitten would suggest that he parkoured his way away from the zombies before he got bitten. So The Miz has to be a zombie, because we saw it. He got murdered in the ring. He got ripped apart and bitten all over. But thankfully, Joe seemingly escaped.
You'd like to think. Speaking of WrestleMania Backlash, Raw wasn't the only thing that suffered some last-minute changes, because Backlash was subject to a last-minute change as well, according to Ringside News, and it has since been confirmed as well by Figure 4 Online. Originally, apparently the main event was meant to be that triple threat WWE title match between Lashley, Strowman and Drew McIntyre, but then it was changed last minute to Roman Reigns versus Cesaro for the Universal Championship. Figure 4 have also built on this story, saying the entire order of matches were changed the day of more than once. What's going on in WWE?
Last minute changes, Jack. Gotta be, because that bit at the end just felt like it was bolted on at the last moment, the way Rollins came out and attacked Cesaro. That felt like a SmackDown angle taking place in the main event segment of a pay-per-view. That was weird. To be honest with you, it would have been... it's 6 and 2 3s, isn't it? Because it was still 2 fantastic matches at the end of the night, which is weird how Seth Rollins came out like he did.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was one of maybe the strongest pay-per-view of the year so far for WWE, if not.
You take the zombies out and it is, I reckon.
Well, I was going to say, but obviously the zombies have kind of overshadowed everything. Moving on now to Saudi Arabia news, because of course there's been speculation, will WWE go back for a Saudi Arabia show in 2021? Well, something's happened recently that might make that a little bit more likely. Wrestling Inc. are speculating that this could well be the case after a tweet from the Saudi Ministry of Sport, who say, #we return to the stands to fill them with cheering and support, and to the matches to fuel the excitement and the enthusiasm. And that was accompanying a video of football crowds in the football stadiums in Saudi Arabia. I think they're opening the stadiums again for the football league there, or I don't know whether it's going to be league matches, but for football matches in Saudi Arabia. But Wrestling Inc. are sort of suggesting this could open the door, therefore, for WWE to go over and put on another show before the end of 2021, which apparently I think was previously reported as like a plan they had, but everyone kind of went, good luck. But now it seems like it could actually be happening.
Yeah, just the way the world seems to be opening back up, it does look like it could be a possibility. Complete hack theory on my part. This is just straight off the top of my head. As we all know, Hell in a Cell normally takes place in October, and it looks like from here on out this year for WWE, pay-per-views are going to be every sort of 5 weeks. So maybe a pay-per-view around autumn time has been cancelled. Hell in a Cell being one of the bigger ones has been bumped up to June, and that leaves a nice gap for a trip to Saudi Arabia. Again, that's complete speculation on my part, but you know.
In a guilty way, I really hope it happens because it does. I mean, it does wonders for our views. There's always news that comes out of Saudi Arabia when WWE go over there, whether it's in the ring or whatever. It always turns up something. Titus O'Neil falling right under the ring. Ring of Honor as well, speaking of the return of fans, they've announced the return of fans as well, and they've set a date for it at the Best in the World pay-per-view on July 11th in Baltimore, Maryland. From the Ring of Honor website, they have said the event will have limited capacity and pod seating will be implemented to ensure proper social distancing of 6 feet between each group of ticket holders. Additionally, temperatures will be taken upon entry and masks will be required to be worn by all attendees throughout the event. Pods are available in all ticket quantities throughout the arena, up to a maximum of 6 seats per group. So Ring of Honor there, I mean, it's always good to see a promotion able to get fans back in, but Ring of Honor seem to be very conscious of the safety of their fans, which is obviously a really good thing.
It is, yes.
I can't think of anything else to say about that story, but I just thought it was nice to include. And finally as well, an AEW star has successfully undergone surgery, and it's none other than Kip Sabian. He tweeted out saying, "Surgery was a success. Now we rebuild. Thanks to everybody who reached out." He, of course, was written off TV from that attack by Miro to get surgery on his arm. We don't know. I'm not quite certain how long he's going to be out for following the surgery, but hopefully he comes back all right. Do you think they'll throw him into a feud with Miro?
Oh, I don't fancy his chances if they do, because Miro is on a tear. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him from here on out, because he just got dismantled by Miro, and he is a gamer. He's a gamer man in AEW, so there's a place in the card for him for sure. What that is, I do not know, because as we all know on Dynamite as well, 50 million things happen, so if he does do something, it'll last a minute, and then we'll move on to something else. Yeah.
I feel like they could bring him back before he's ready to wrestle, you're right, because they did it with Britt Baker when she was recovering from injury. But then they didn't do it with Chris Statlander. She stayed away the whole time. So I guess it depends what sort of wrestler you are. But Kip Sabian can cut a promo. And I think...
but Chris Statlander lives a bit further away from most wrestlers because she is, of course, an alien. So different planets and all that, you know. And it would just appear that Jack went to a different planet. Ha 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 ha!
Honestly, the laptop crashed, but somehow saved the audio. So what a better way. What better way than to end this video on than with a lovely miracle, a lovely May miracle.
Thank you to all of the aliens, eh? Thank you to all of the aliens.
Thanks, Chris Statlander. And thanks to all of you for watching as well. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll see you very soon.